This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 4-minute forecast. We do have a lot to get to in this forecast, including the temperatures out there this morning, which are no improvement from yesterday. They're actually a little bit colder for most of us. A lot of us running in the mid to upper 20s, especially along the Red River Valley. Low 30s in the Metroplex, so it's not too late to bring that sensitive vegetation if you have not already, because we will have more freezes ahead of us later this week. So more on that in the 7-day forecast. Temperatures by lunchtime will warm up nicely into the low to mid 50s. Eventually this afternoon, many of us will actually reach the upper 50s, maybe a few 60s back off to the west, so it will be a good improvement from what we saw yesterday. All right, let's take a look at the future radar. We have a chance for some snow, some freezing, basically some wintry precipitation later this week, and it's obviously something that's been on the forecast for the last few days. We're starting to have some increased confidence on what we're expecting. So this is going into Friday morning, so there might be some scattered showers and maybe a mix back out close to areas like Wichita Falls. Heading into 9 in the morning, you can see it starts to transition, especially in far northwestern counties, into a mix of some rain, sleet, and snow. So yes, snow will be a possibility with this. We're not looking at a full-on ice event or something like that. We're really looking mainly at snow, it looks like, with that wintry mix. Heading closer to lunchtime, you can see that we'll start to transition to that wintry mix here in DFW, primarily snow for those in Wichita Falls, and between that from Wichita Falls to Bowie to maybe even Gainesville. Heading to 3 o'clock, we start to have a full transition into snow for portions of DFW. It looks like primarily north of I-20 would be where that transition point is. Then a wintry mix kind of divides from Paris all over to Texarkana, and then eventually by about 6 o'clock, this moves out of our area and we'll be drying out. This will be a quick moving system, so we're not going to see huge accumulations out of this, but here's my thinking. So this is for early Thursday. You can kind of get the general idea that I think a wintry mix will be primarily to our northwest, and then rain primarily from Dallas and off to the south and east. Now, heading into later portions of Friday, we'll start to see a transition into snow, it looks like, for portions of DFW, so Gainesville, Sherman, McKinney, Denton, as well as Dallas. All of that chance for maybe transitioning to snow for maybe an hour or two, maybe 3 hours. Obviously, we still need some specifics, and we'll have more of that on tomorrow's forecast for sure, but it looks like that's what we'll be looking at. Wintry mix back out to the east, and eventually all rain for us over in areas like Waco, Corsicana, as well as Tyler. Now, obviously, as I said before, there's some uncertainty, but there's a chance that we do see up to an inch or two of snow in some spots, especially with the heavier bands. You can see potentially up to 2 inches just east of Wichita Falls, for example, but at this point, it looks like there'll be scattered accumulations, so not everybody will see accumulations of snow, and again, we're still a couple of days out. Computer models are still showing, there's a couple that are showing nothing for our area, but some are showing that we'll see potentially, several inches of snow. So we have kind of an in-between ground we're at right now. We'll have a better idea for you in really in the next 24 hours. Looking at the 24-hour snowfall rates, the percentile, what's the percent chance basically of you seeing an inch of snow or greater? Basically, it's about a 1 in 5 chance for DFW, and off to the north, it's more like a 1 in 2 chance. That's basically what this model is showing, but I wouldn't go ahead and I would just take this with a grain of salt because it's just a chance of seeing an inch of snow. It could very well be higher, it could be lower by the time we get there. Just keep updated with North Texas Weather Center for the latest. Temperatures heading into tomorrow will be a little bit warmer, closer to the mid to upper 30s, closer to 40 in Plano by tomorrow morning. Eventually by lunchtime, we'll warm up into the 60s, and then going into the afternoon, the cold front back out to our west, however, will be in mostly in the 60s for DFW, maybe a few lower 70s as well. Here's your latest 7-day forecast, and you can see temperatures will drop significantly for Friday. We'll see a widespread freeze Friday morning. You can see Saturday morning. Saturday morning, we'll see temperatures in the low 20s. Heading into Sunday, we'll start to warm back up into the 60s. Eventually, maybe some storms returning by Monday. It looks like a fairly isolated chance as of right now. Next Thursday looks like our next big event, but obviously far out from now. Temperatures back near 80 degrees next Thursday. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, Birdie's Pro Turf, and THD Vehicle Doorstep.